Okay, people, so anyway, I want to put this first and then everything else, right? What you're going to see after this is what's happened to the walnut trees. And my commentary on that. And I'm going to click out this, or I'll just take you to the table after I show you, right, what I've been doing. But I'm going to, I don't know, I'm going to have to, I want to talk about how the next generation, I guess you could say, is being conditioned to, only some people can do this stuff, people. You gotta live in one of those big fancy houses in order to be able to do stuff like this anymore, because people are either being forced out into the streets where they lose everything and then it become criminalized for being poor, right? And then they end up getting mental illnesses from it, addictions, and just violence breeds like nothing, right? It's out of control, that's what I'm trying to say. Right? This is the pears from my tree. That's what I'm doing. I'm just wiping down the jars and put them over there, and then I'm going to show you what I've been doing. And I get a lot of flack from it from my younger daughter because, first of all, she's not really interested in learning how to do it. She doesn't feel that there's a need for it, right? Because people are conditioned to just go to the grocery store and get what they need there, versus growing it, finding it and bringing it home and whatever, right? And because things tend to pile up, because it all starts coming in at one time, the pears come in, the plums come in, the apples come in, you know, the walnuts come in, the cucumbers come in, the Swiss chard is still sitting out there, needs to come in, you know, just whatever, right? Tomatoes are still growing, right? And then it starts to pile up. And I have a small place, people. I've discussed this. I've said this. Don't get me wrong. I'm very grateful to have what I have. But at the end of the day, for the type of woman that I am, that likes to do stuff like this, or other things that I do, like welcome to my office, which I don't even pay attention to anymore over there. So the paper's piling up, right? Because I'm, doing this stuff, right? It's a matter of feeding my family and continuing to pay my $300 a month interest to CIBC Bank than it is sitting there spending more money on ink right now just so I can send it to the cops and then give another copy of that same information to the freaking CIBC Bank, and I have to give one to the judge. So that's like 4 copies right there. As if I got money for that, when I'm scrounging around for free food, right? That's organic, and watching it be cut down while I'm doing it. One tree at a time, right? To be pushed out of my own fucking country, right? Because if you get pushed out of your province, you get pushed out of your country. Like, I have no place to go. I can't even fucking move, like, into anywhere, because it's just out of control with the immigration population coming in and taking up the land base as they increase the property value for everybody, right? Because it's nothing for the ones that have money that are coming in from these other countries and pushing up, overinflating the housing market, where it's like making people literally scared to live their life. So don't get me wrong, I'm very happy to be able to do this, but my kids, like, I don't even have that many kids anymore, people. Because my family is being targeted one way or another. My family is being targeted, right? So that others can fucking survive. Right? My family's not entitled to survive. We're the fucking, at the lower end of the food chain, right? So for my surviving children, they don't understand my urgency to be able to do this, right? Because it's a dying art. Because young people don't want to do this anymore. And it's, and it's getting to the point where even if they... camera is just no good, right? Anyway, 5 minutes later, even if young people wanted to do stuff like this, people, and I'm not talking about these families that build their marriages on building wealth, right? In terms of arranged marriages so that they can build wealth, so that they can go and build more wealth, and so on, until the wealth is all over there and then the disparity is over there, right? Which happens to be where I'm at, right? Because, you know, time has a way of doing things, right? And so young people are now being pushed into these townhouses, condos, what do you call these for the homeless people, it's these portables, right, that like are in a camp like setting. You know, apartments are almost nil to none because people aren't building them, they're tearing them down. If they're not tearing down houses to build things that none of us can get into, right? So we're being pushed out of our homes, we're being pushed out of our province, and we're being pushed out of our country. That's what's happening here, people. And so for the young people like my daughter, that, you know, my surviving daughter, right? You know, doing stuff like this, you know, I told her, I raised 5 kids, you got 1. You just starting off in the game, you know? Like, and like, I feel sorry for my little teeny weeny granddaughter, because she's not gonna see any apple trees, people, or plum trees, or any of that. She'll be lucky to have a place to live in 10 years from now with her family, mother and whatnot, right? I don't know where I'm gonna be in 10 years from now, people. Really, I don't. It's frightening. It's completely frightening. I'm looking to try and find a place for my older daughter, Sierra, because I can't have her living in my garage. And there's nothing that is affordable. You have to put in that $400 a person, you know, $2,800 for a 4-bedroom. I mean, come on, think about it. How many people is that just going to cover the rent and the hydros and the gas? So, and because people don't have sympathy for those out in the streets that can't even afford to find a room, right? In terms of there is no rooms to rent unless you're wanting to pay, you know, $600 for a room. And even then, who knows what you're going to get, right? You've lost that generation. And I hate to say it, but like, I'm not saying what I want to say, because I'm getting beat up for doing this food, people. My daughter doesn't understand that when the shit comes in, it does bunk up, right? I'm pulling out old food, throwing out things that, you know, bugs got into. I've done videos like that. That's why you put everything in freaking jars, so that when you put it away for storage, if it happens to get a little moth in it and it starts breeding in the jar, you take out the jar, you take it out to the compost, and you dump it into the compost in terms of dehydrated food, if it's no good. So I'm pulling out that and sorting out that. You know, I'm doing the canning. You've already seen a big batch. I'm going to show you a new batch that I've been doing. But because the walnuts trees got cut down, this is my little rant right now, because the walnut trees got cut down, for the last 2 days, I've been collecting walnuts and wood. Because that's it. My son cuts down trees, right? He actually came today and helped me get some wood, right? A little bit. And I asked him, I said, have you ever, in all, on all the trees that you've cut, Marcane, have you ever came across a black walnut tree? He said, no. What is that telling you, people? That's telling you that the black walnut is going extinct in the province of British Columbia, Canada, because these politicians don't give a shit, right? They cut down over 80 freaking trees, probably more, because they're not done yet. Don't forget that line of trees, right? That we didn't actually take time to count. That's probably another 10 or 15 more trees just in that line. Right? That apple tree that I showed you, that's going to be cut down in another 10, 15, 20 years. along with the rest of the fruit trees around here. Because when they're building these townhouses, these condos, and whatever the hell else they're building, they're not leaving any room for plants to grow. A little bit of grass and ornamental trees to make it look nice, right? But outside of that, there are no real fruit trees. There are no nut trees. You know how many animals are going to be affected by losing two fully mature walnut trees? Another one that was like maybe about 30 years old, 25, 30 years old, that one's gone, right? 2 oak trees that I'm aware of. Cherry tree, maple tree, right? Not to mention the apple trees, right? That's affecting a lot of wildlife, people. So anyway, I'm just going to keep doing I don't want to rant on this, okay? I am just going to keep doing what I'm doing because, first of all, my grandson will have these memories for the rest of his life, assuming that he's not targeted somewhere down the line for somebody to make some profit off of him, right? Because that's kind of like what's happening here with my family, all right? But besides that point, he'll remember all these things that I showed him by example. Not by telling him, but actually by example, right? And that's going to go a whole lot further than what's going to happen for my little granddaughter, because by the time my little granddaughter gets to Andre's age, there's not going to be anything left, right? And that's with the idea of being able to afford to live in this province in a house or an affordable alternative accommodations, whether it's a townhouse, which is unaffordable, or an apartment, which is unaffordable. So I'm thinking, why do we have such a housing crisis? I think, to be honest with you, I think Surrey at one point, I remember reading it, I can't be 100% sure, but I'm almost thinking about it to be sure, is the fact that Surrey at one point brought in 10,000 refugees from Syria. I think they came from Syria, right? 10,000 people. So by bringing in those 10,000 people, and not to mention who's immigrating into the, coming into this district, but it's all across the province. It has nothing to do with Surrey in general. It's everywhere, right? That's why there's no housing, people. And because these people that come, many of them are within their culture, it's okay for them to have their family members live with them. The more the merrier. If you can get 25 into a house, yip hibbly-yay. But when it's someone like me with my children, all of a sudden it becomes an issue, right? And then my family becomes targeted. Because I don't have that cultural base around me in terms of, well, I'm from China. I'm from freaking, I don't know, somewhere else. Right? So what's happening is today's generation, Tisha's age, 20, 24, 25, up 30s, whatever, right? They're being conditioned to forget about this stuff. This is like the old way, what do you call it? The Wild Wild West. This is like the Wild Wild West, people. This is dangerous. This can get you into trouble because it produces independence to some degree, right? To some degree. So the more they can cut down the trees, right? And so that make it so that you have to go to the grocery store and you have no choice, the more profitable it becomes for these people that do this to your community. Because now you have to go shop at their stores. You don't have a choice. Right? That's another thing to think about. As every tree that gets cut down to build in, it's going to be funny. That complex is going to be funny. You're going to have a whole bunch of white people looking at a whole bunch of brown people. That's what you're going to have. You're going to have the brown people looking that way. And I mean brown in terms of anybody that comes from some country from somewhere else. That's like an Asian country of some kind. Whether it's from China or whether it's from India or, Pakistan or those kind of places. They're all going to be looking like this. Well, the old white people are going to be looking like this across the street. And it's just a matter of time before the white people die off. And once they die off, well, who do you think is going to be next? But that's going to take another 20, 30, 40 years So in the meantime, people are just filling their pockets. That's what's happening. They're just filling their pockets with profit, right? And they don't care who they hurt, how they hurt them, right? And that's why we've got people being murdered in the fucking community and nothing getting done about it because, you know, it's cost effective in terms of, you know, paying those union dues and benefit packages and all that other shit where most of your taxpayers' dollar goes, right? You know, there was a woman about a month and a half ago in the ravine, just what, 200 feet away from me, was murdered, had her eyes gouged out in the ravine, right? Because of the housing crises, right? Well, my daughter is not getting any housing and I'm looking and there's nothing affordable. Well, my other daughter is getting mad at me because I'm trying to save money and bring in quality food that's like organic, right? And I'm sorry I'm not fucking superhuman where I can just go off and do it all in a damn day in a kitchen that has no real porch. I need a second fridge for some of this stuff. It would be better, so probably gonna buy some used one or try and get some free one and put it downstairs, put a lock on it, put it in the garage, so that when next year when the fruit comes in, I can put it in the actual fridge and it won't spoil as quickly. But I ended on this note. At the end of the day, guess where that spoiled fruit goes to? Beginning tomorrow, in terms of I'll go out there and get the dirt ready, right? Because that's what I am, a mule. And then as I'm working over the next 3 weeks, I just incorporate it into the dirt, throw in some weeds, cut the grass, throw in some of that, go to the freaking ocean, go get some seaweed, throw in some of that, cover it up, leave it alone, and then before you know it, I'll be getting squashed like that. And here's the thing. It won't smell like shit when it rots because it wasn't growing in shit. Have you ever noticed that? You go buy food from China, places like that, you know, that's because it's imported. And when it starts to spoil, it really begins to reek. And I'll tell you why, people, because it was grown in poop. Whether it's cow manure or whatever it is, it was grown in poop. So when it spoils, it starts to smell really bad. Because that's what it was grown in. My food's not grown in that crap. My landlady says, oh, you need some manure. And I'm like, I've never used manure, not once, since I've been on this property. And I've grown a lot of freaking food on this property, people. A lot of freaking food. So, I'm happy to have even rotten apples, because I can throw them into a compost and build in more dirt. This is the thing. People don't appreciate that stuff anymore, because they're looking to see if they can afford to buy a condo. And when they can't find a fucking condo, what they do is they get freaking mad, and we all get scared, because our worlds are falling apart. There's no, and then my son said, well, you know, nobody owes you anything. If they can afford to buy it, better for them. Yeah, well, if they can afford to fucking buy it, why don't they go buy it in their own fucking country? Why are they coming here and bringing genocide to Canada? To the point where none of us can afford anything, and more of us are finding ourselves just teetering on that fine line. As you stand there and you watch 80 trees be cut down in 2 days while the city purports itself to be protecting fucking trees. This is not true. My son is a tree cutter. He cuts down trees every freaking day. Every day. For $28 million homes to be built so that people can look out their curtain and see how the worker is doing, but never come out and say anything. Why is that, people? Who's moving into those houses, looking out their fucking curtains and afraid to fucking say anything, and the building is $28 million? That sounds like a real loving, nurturing freaking immigrant that's coming in here and wants to be a part of the mainstream. Not. There's nothing mainstream about what is going on in this country called Canada. It's because they're coming in racist. And when you're dealing with racism like that, doesn't matter if it comes from white people, brown people, black people, yellow people, it doesn't fucking matter. What it does is it brings in genocide. I am 57 years old. I have had many, many fucking houses, done many, many things in my life, people, in my own country. And now it's getting to the point where I've been saying it for a while. You know, like... Okay, people, August 20th, 2018. As you can see, this is what I got from my garden. Oh yes, and there's that, it's more fine. So I found this one, right? And then if it gets stuck in there, all you do is take a skewer, right? Releases the salt. Okay, people, anyway, August 21st, I think, 22nd or something like that. It's Tuesday, probably the 22nd, 2018. This was corned beef from April 20th of 2014, but if you notice, the lid is popped up, right? So you want to be responsible when you're discarding it, because it could very well have botulism in it, right? So what they advise you to do is to boil the food. So I'm going to open the jar when this starts boiling. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm being a responsible canner here, people. Okay, so what I'm going to do, open the jar, and I'm going to pour this liquid and meat and everything into there after this is boiling, and then I'm going to, boil it for 10 minutes at least, right, to kill off any bacterias. Then I'm going to drain it, and then I'm going to bag it, and then I'm going to throw it in the garbage. The jar itself, after I pour it into the pot, is going in there, and I'm just going to boil it for 10 minutes, and then I'm going to wash it, okay, with some soapy water and a little bit of bleach. There's those cucumbers that I did last night, and I have a few more to do, and I'm going through the walnuts and apples right now, people. Hold on. Okay, so as you can see, it doesn't take much. Believe it or not, people, it doesn't smell bad. It smells like corned beef. Right, it does. If it smelled bad, you'd smell it, right? And then the jar is in there, so we're just gonna put the timer on. It's already been boiling for a minute or so. But we'll just put it on. Yeah, it definitely smells like corned beef. You could eat that if you were starving. I swear. But we're not starving, so we don't need to eat it. Alright? So I'm just going to turn it down a bit. Let's just look at it. Roll over here in a minute. And then, yeah, boil for 10 minutes. Drain it. Bag it. Give it to your animals. Whatever. Like I said, it doesn't smell bad, people. Hold on. Okay, people. So today is, what is it? August 23rd, 2018. Sky had 2 little kittens in that shed. I need to pull it out anyway, because it's been sitting there for... Last year I was supposed to pull it out and go through it, right? Anyway, didn't get around to it. So this year, the cat had the kittens in there. 2 of them. So Tisha came in and dug everything out. So that's what I'm going to be having to do here, people. I'm just looking around my yard. Right? Admiring all these flower buds on these cucumber plants as the bees are flying around them. You can see they're everywhere. Little butterflies. It's probably a moth, but they're everywhere. There's such a haze in the sky that some plants are dying off early because they're not getting enough sun, because the sun is being blocked by smoke. Oh, there's a bumblebee just flying around being a happy camper. Here he is. Alright. And I was looking at these walnut trees. I'm going to take you through the path over here in the alley, up that way, and I'm going to show you what trees are protected and which ones are not. And I was talking to the fella that is in... Anyway, he's connected to the property development over there where all those walnut trees are going to be torn down. And it's any day now, people, like any day. But as you can see, these things grew like literally almost, well, that's over 2 feet anyway. That's almost 2 feet. 2 feet. 2 feet. They can grow as fast as 2 feet in one growing season. This one's a little taller right here. Yeah, so hold on. Okay, people, so now I'm looking in this corner. There's the old hen house, aka hen house area. Then it was going to be the seedling room, as you can see, right? But Anyway, I got Jerry coming, and he's gonna do some work for me in here. Make it nicer, more rainproof. Make sure it's nice and solid. This little house is very, very solid. Extremely solid. Doesn't move, people. I did a really good job with Andre. Anyway, Andre wanted to have it as a playhouse. I was gonna, after this part in here was fixed, I was gonna obviously gut it, put up shelving, clean it, whatever, you know, and then use it as a seedling room. But I might foster some dogs here, so it's hard to say. So I told Jerry, I said either it's a seedling room or it's going to be a foster kennel, right? He's going to make it so that we have glass doors here, right? And then they're going to open up. I guess they're going to open up out that way. So I don't know. Do something. He's going to secure it in here for me. He's the one who did the greenhouse with the main frame and everything, people, and framed in all the windows and, you know, did a really good job. Did the roof and everything, right? Jerry. He's the one who also built Andre's shed. So anyway, I trust his work, so he's going to get up in here in the next couple of days and fix that up for me nice and tight. We'll have a door, right? And then, of course, we've got still Mr. Lace's hen house here, right? Sorry, cat house. Mr. Lace's pen that became the cat house that I never used as a cat house. And then the city came along and wanted me to put all this miscellaneous pieces of wood that I have into one spot. So I put them in here, and they've been sitting in here ever since. But I'm going to tell my landlady this year, you know, that next year I'm not going to worry about as much vegetables as I did this year, because it takes a lot of time to get the dirt ready, people. It's not simply just throw some seeds in and away you go, right? No, you have to weed it and till it, and you've got to enrich it, and, you know, I'm moving dirt around in buckets. You've seen those videos before, right? So, and then, of course, all this other drama. I never got to paint. I wanted to paint the greenhouse, finished it up, you know, get rid of a lot of this stuff. There's things I still have to do. You know, I still have to run these things on some windows, you know, that type of thing. Obviously work on this, but Jerry's going to get up on that, right? You know, and paint, and so I'm going to tell her next year I'm not planting as much. Instead, I'm just going to work on enriching certain areas where I do grow food, in terms of enriching the dirt, adding some seaweed to that type of thing, right? Go to the ocean and get some seaweed to put some iodine into the ground, right? Just that kind of stuff, and then let it sit. Don't grow nothing in it. Just keep it lightly covered, right? So that the weeds don't take over the nutrients, but the worms can still breathe. And then, so I'll just focus on finishing laying down all this stuff, you know, get rid of this miscellaneous crap, you know, clear out this, so it's a nice little dog den, right? Or maybe a cat house. I don't think so. Probably more like a dog den, right? Just, you know, go to your house. It doesn't even have to be a dog den. It could be a dog house. You could turn that into a dog house. Anyway, I'll be back. Okay, so now I'm getting into washing things and repacking. This is one of my so-called hoarding moments, right? You can see, right? That's a baby gate that I found, a long time ago. Anyway, just washed it. This here is a hamster cage Andre and I found, and Andre actually caught a little mouse from the kitten that Cuddlebugs caught, and then, I don't know, somehow Andre got it, and he got it underneath a little container. So, because we had found this cage, I had put the mouse in there. Anyway, long story short, Tisha went off into the field and let the little mouse go, so I'm going to wash that and let it dry out, and then I'm going to pack it up for another day, right? These are the windows. Well, they're doors, and this is a really hardwood, really nice hardwood. Anyway, I have two of them, right? And they're going up by the seedling room, aka dog den, right? So I'm just picking through this. Hold on a minute. Okay, people. So it's another one of these hoarding moments, okay? Because what I've noticed with today's people, a lot of people, so many people, they take stuff like this, people, and because it got dirty. This is Lego. Do you know how expensive Lego is? Right? And the, what do you call it? they just throw it out because they don't want to get their hands dirty. They don't want to wash that shit, right? Because it takes time. There's paint in there. But before they'd wash it and let the container dry and then put the paint in a different bag or something somewhere else, they'll just chuck it out. And then they come along, and if you try and recycle it, I can wash this bead and put it in my sewing room, people, with the rest of the beads like that. Right? Babies in the house. Why wouldn't I want more of those? Right? What's this? A little container. Isn't that cute? Right? Oh. But anyway, I just want to show you what I'm doing. That's copper. That's kind of nice. I'll even wash this and put it with the rest of the nuts. Hey. So I'm the idiot, right? For, saving a little dish. A little plastic dish. Let's see, what else? What other treasures do I have in here, people? Anyway, camera kicked out. So that's what I got clean so far. Right? But as you can see, I'm kind of going through it here, people. You know, I'm washing bins and toys and blocks and birdhouses and junk. Anyway, people, I'm back. The camera went out because the battery went out. So I'm just kind of washing things, right? I boiled up these walnuts a while ago, and they've been kicking around in a pot. So I'm just rinsing them off and letting them dry, and then I'm going to bag them up. And that's crafts, right? Just rinsing off the dust. I'm washing toys right now. Sierra brings junk here. She finds on the road bags of toys and stuff like that. And I told her I don't really need any of these little toys, but anyway, I can't justify throwing them out, so I'm washing them. I'll show you later, right? And she brings me rocks, and rocks, and gravel, really many containers, right? Suffers from mental illness, right? So she's always bringing me fucking rocks. Right? That's what she brings to the house, people. Right? And every now and then she'll find a bag of clothes or something, right? Bring it here. And it just sits in the garage until eventually I get to it. It hasn't been scattered around by that time. Right? So, fall is coming pretty soon, right? So it's going to start raining. I think it's going to rain on Sunday. So, stuff like this. Dupo blocks are expensive. Right? Just whatever, right? There's another letter. Not crap. I guess that's another bird feeder. I don't have a very good garage, people. So, you know, and I don't have a proper porch. That's one thing about this house, so, you know, things get scattered around. Do you see? Right? And then if it ends up outside, because there's not enough room in the house, because I don't have, like, this stuff here should be, like, on the inside of a porch, but it ends up on the outside, because that's the only kind of porch I really have. Right? So, I don't know. I just, a lot of it I can't really justify throwing away, right? Because, you know, some of it I will, but not all of it, right? So anyway, that's what I'm doing right now. I just want to say, though, you know, like, young people these days, oh God, there goes that camera. And of course my hands are wet, right? Hold on. Okay, people, I don't know if you can see that smoke, but it's been, like, smoky for, like, 3 days from all the forest fires. It's just getting worse. You can smell it now, too. Right? And this is the way the sky has been looking. Been no sun for 3 days, people. The plants are starting to die. Do you see that? Right? Yeah, not these ones yet. Not yet. But yeah, no, it's really, really smoky. I mean, just look at the sky. You can't see shit. August 24th, 2018. When I write the premiere, I'm gonna give him this video and the other videos that I have. Because there is no adequate housing for my daughter. And I am forced to try and find her another house. Will you please go? I don't want you doing that.
You clean up your fucking self, right? Fuck, I don't care. Fucking sitting there all fucking coming along now, rusting into the fucking ground. That's no good, eh? Get in there. Yeah. Oh, you your fucking self then. Fucking rusting.
It's just an excuse to pick rocks.
Sure it is there. Sure. Fuck. I don't care that much about them, right?
You need to go clean up your mess.
Yeah, he's fucked everywhere.
Anyway, I'm gonna try one more time to try and get you a house. And you better fucking make it work this time. Seriously, Sierra. That's assuming I can even find a house. There's nothing out there. So if we find a house, consider yourself lucky.
I'll look for myself, thank you very much.
You don't look for yourself, though. You keep fucking living in my yard. Yeah, you do. You're in my yard right now.
Am I living here? No.
Yeah, you're living in my yard, Sierra, right now. This is what you're doing. You need to go home then. Stop picking rocks. I'm not interested in rocks.
Fucking rust mess.
I don't care, Sierra. They're just rocks.
Well, whatever, man. Get them out of the fucking ground then. Why you have fucking buckets in there?
The premier of this province is getting a good look at your ass. No, I'm sending this to the fucking premier. I can't stand this shit anymore. Too many freaking years. I'm done with it. I told you. Okay, this is August, I think 24th, okay? It's Friday. It's like 1:45 in the morning. Hold on a minute. Do you see this? This is my daughter on the road, picking rocks at 1:45 in the morning in the front of my fucking house. She's gonna get hit by a car if she doesn't get attacked. Apparently there was a woman in the ravine. This camera reacts to voice. Do you notice that? What are you doing? You're gonna get hit by a car. You're on the fucking corner of the road. Yeah. If a car comes flying through, it's not gonna see you.
What day is it now?
24th.
Okay, today's 24 people. Now it's up in the tree on the rabbit hutch. And she's picking my plums. I mean, not my plums, her plums.
Who are we giving some to?
Huh?
Who are we giving some to?
Mrs. Gill.
She likes plums.
Yeah. There's even a plum tree over there. You just can't see it because it's kind of blocking. So, bye people. Okay, people. Here's a lot of plums.
Yeah.
See? We
And
got a
there's
lot.
still lots of plums on the tree.
Yep.
Okay.
And here's mint.
Yeah, some mint. So what? I'm gonna dry it now,
Yeah.
and then we make tea with it.
Mhm.
Okay, we'll be back.
Yep.
Okay, people. So now we're going up the alley here, because as you can see, there's a fence. What that fence means is those 2 trees, or 3 trees, are not going to be tore down. 2 trees, 3 trees. Right? Because they're going to start ripping up this alley to run pipes for this old folks home. I don't know if these trees are being tore down. I don't know if they're making all this in here, they're not touching because it's all fenced off. But I'm going to show you how many trees they are going to be cutting down. I don't know if those trees will be cut down. I suspect they probably will be. I suspect that one will be. Let's count, people. Because if you notice, none of these trees here are fenced off. So 1, 2, 3. Hold on. 3. Oh. Okay, so we got 3 there. 4. That one right there is a walnut tree. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. That's 30 just in here, not including those ones yet, people, because we don't know what they're doing with those ones. I didn't count these ones. 31, 32, 33. Didn't count those ones over there. 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Oh, you get it, right? You get the point. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49. There's a whole row down there. I'm telling you, people, they're cutting down 50 fucking trees out here. At least. They bagged up all the garbage. For every house that they tear down, all they do is push out more and more people out onto the streets. They give them drugs so that they, so you can see there's the fence. So something over there is protected, just right there. But all this in here is gonna be wiped out. Hold on, people. So anyway, 50 trees at least, not including that little batch over there. And there's 51. And then all of those are gonna be gone.
Yep.
This one, so that's like what? 12, 15 trees right there.
Yeah.
So we're like cutting down, people. They're cutting down like 70 trees. 70 trees out here. There's
What?
Mickey. Mickey! Mickey the gardener cat. What are you doing, Mickey? Mickey!
Followed us.
Mickey. So they're protecting this one because you can see it's been fenced off. This is a English walnut tree. But other than that, people, they're wiping everything else out. They're gonna come in with a big bulldozer and a big wood chipper and just chop everything down. There's only saving like what, 5 trees out of 70, 80 trees? And a little holly tree in the corner over there. They're saving that one. That's a little holly, ugly looking little holly tree. It's disgusting. Oh. This is a nut producing, it's like a acorn. It's a different kind of acorn. So this one will be gone too. Right? No more picking blackberries either. And if you notice, people, again, see these signs? It's the same 2 women. They sell the same houses 4 times a year, over and over and over again. And each and every time that they sell these houses, the only thing that happens is the property taxes go higher and the cost of the homes get completely unaffordable. And I think what happens is you get these overseas buyers that come up and buy 8 lots at one time. And then when they're ready to sell, they sell the same lots that they just bought over and over again. There's another one over there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course, they're always going all the way down the road. Hold on. Okay, people. So this is what's falling off that one tree right now. You can see they're much better apples. So I think for the next time I cook apples, which I'm going to be doing pretty soon here, I'm going to leave some of the peel on this because you have to remember this is strictly organic. No waxes, no nothing on this. This is falling straight up off the tree. And then I've got still from before, right? So I'm going to peel those ones that aren't in so shape. I'm making juice, people, and just simple apple butter. But because these ones came off the tree today, you know, I'm going to put some of the peel in with my next batch of juice and apple butter. And then, as you can see, that's only some of them that I've been doing. I'm starting at it again, people. It doesn't take long. Right? I don't know how long those trees will be up for. Hopefully, they'll be up there for another month. That would be great. That would give plenty of time for most of the nuts, if not all of them, to fall. But besides that point, that's what I'm doing as well. And then I'm going to show you some 3 other things. Hold on a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4 other things. And then I'm going to end this video. Hold on. Okay, so this is one of those things out of 4 that I wanted to show you. Look at these apples, people. Do you see that? These are different tree. A different tree, right? This tree is apparently grafted with 3 different types of apples. So that's why they kind of look different. This is Andre has an eagle eye for apple trees. Like, seriously. In the last month, he's like spotted like 3 trees already. And this was one of them. So, I have another bag in my cold room. We just got them like, 2 days ago. So I'm going to start now. And look at that. And I gave one bag to my landlady. Right. So anyway, I'm going to cook up these. And then I'm going to make juice, right? And then once the juice is done, I'm going to be canning the juice at 6 o'clock now, people. I don't know what time I'll be canning juice, but I'll definitely be canning what's in the fridge, which is a full pot, plus this, and I'm making apple butter. So who knows? I'll probably be up to like 4 o'clock in the freaking morning. I can see it coming. Hold on, and I'm going to show you 3 more things yet before I end this video. Just hold on. So because these apples are in much better shape, as you can see, I've got the peel on them this time, right? Hold on a minute. Okay, people, so anyway, back at the walnut tree, those 2 right there. But if you see, these ones are all going to be cut. This is a mature oak. It goes up really, really high, people. You're cutting that one. There's a little baby one. That one right there is a baby oak, right? All those, we already counted all those. Okay, they're not saving any of these trees, people. Right? None of these pine trees, not the walnuts, not the oaks, the white oaks. None of these pines, not the apple tree, none of those pines that somebody had planted. Right? And I'm going to show you what they are saving.
This is the one from there.
Yeah, well, we have a few of those growing in our yard.
No, I have one.
Yeah, he's been collecting acorns.
Yeah, from that other one.
Huh?
There's the other one.
Yeah, from the other one. We'll come back tomorrow and do that again. Hold on. To see what they are saving here, people. This is that sickly holly tree that I was telling you about. Okay? What these people do, they come and they chop off all the bottom leaves and the branches and everything, and then they just leave little stubbies. That's what they did with the pear tree in my yard, right? They cut off a whole bunch of branches on the main trunk, and then in my yard, they cut off half a tree. Here in this case, this is out of all these trees, people, this is what they're saving. And the province of British Columbia, Canada, considers a freaking holly tree to be a nuisance plant, right? In terms of it's prolific and it really doesn't serve a purpose. But for some reason, these property developers in the city of Surrey seems to think that this tree needs to be protected, when in fact, they're chopping down all of these, right? Anything along the fence line down there, I showed you, right? We're looking at 70 to 80 trees being chopped down, right? Do you see how they kind of decimated this apple tree too? But it didn't matter because they're chopping it down, right? They decimated this holly tree. Do you see how they chop everything off and then just leave a little stubby on the top, right? I don't know why they do that, but they do. But anyway, that one's coming down. All those are coming down, right? Those are all coming down. All those in the other, just all these trees, people. 70 to 80 trees being chopped down. At best, there may be saving, at best, there may be saving 10. There's the walnut trees right there. Right. Okay, so it is now August 27, 2018. And as you can see, these are the plums from my tree. Well, some of them. I am going to can these ones just in a jar with some, what is it called? Syrup. I'm going to use a medium syrup because these plums, if you don't let them get really soft, they tend to be a little sour, I guess you could say, right? And, you know, you kind of want them to hold their shape a little bit, right? So they're not completely, I would say, 100% ripe, because once they get real ripe, they get mushy. So, anyway, I'm going to can them in a medium syrup, and then, yeah, we'll be back. You'll see more. Hold on. Okay, so this is where we're at. There's the syrup. Jars are there. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just bring this up to a 2-minute, just get it going, right? And then once you see it start going, you only cook it for about a minute or 2 minutes, not very long, and then you put it in the jars. Otherwise, it's going to turn into mush, right? You just want to get it started and cook it now. So you turn on the heat, and then you just start moving it around just a little bit, right? Okay, otherwise you're just going to turn it into mush. Let's see. Hold on. As you cook it, you can see the color is coming, right? I'm done now. I turned off the heat. It wasn't even 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, so as I'm putting them in the jar, they're kind of starting to create their own juice here, right? So I made lots of, what's it called? syrup because I got lots of things to do, people. You should see all the pears I have. Hold on a minute. So I'm going to just top this off and see what we get. Okay, so that's what they look like before they go in. Do you see how quickly it starts to dissolve, right? In part because of the type of plum it is, I think, people. And plus they're cut, right? So hold on. Okay, so before we turn this into mush and bring it into a hard boil for 20 minutes, those aren't quite a quart and they're not quite, what is it called? A pint. These are old school jars, right? Buy them in thrift stores, people. Anyway, I'm just bringing it up to 190. What we want to do is just seal it, but not cook the food necessarily any more than it's already cooked, as in a cucumber, right? So if you bring it up to 190, it pasteurizes the food anyway. Sugar is the preservative. And all you want to do is make sure that you get a good seal. If you boil it vigorously, chances are you're going to lose a lot of liquid from your jars. And you're going to overcook the food, the fruit in this case, right? If it was beans or something like that, I wouldn't do it, right? But because it's plums, almost equal to a plum juice, right? I'm going to bring it up to 190. I'm going to hold it at 190. And I'm going to do it for 30 minutes versus hard boil for 20 minutes, right? And you will find that the jar will seal perfectly fine and everything will be fine. Hold on. Okay, I've changed my mind. So I did it at 190 for 20 minutes, but I've decided to boil it. Because it's condensed, right, people? It's not just juice, right? I don't add a lot of sugar in with my juices unless they need it, and even then I don't add it, right? Because the apple juice and whatever, they don't need a lot of sugar. This though, I am going to, you can see I brought up the heat. It's boiling now, so I'm going to leave it like that. Obviously something is leaking because you can see the water is discoloring here a bit. And I'm just going to boil it because they're not quite full quart-sized jars. I am just going to boil it for 15 minutes. Because it's already been in there on a 190 for 20 minutes. It'll still be fine. And the reason I'm doing that, people, is because you want to activate the sugar to kill off. The sugar reacts to the water and it kills off the bacterias and all that stuff, and then just preserves the food, right? So you gotta have, a fair amount of sugar in the food in order for it to be a preservative. In this case, we're using a medium syrup, so that's a fair amount of sugar in with these pears, right? So I'm not going crazy on the boil. I'm just gonna keep it at this boil because I don't like losing 2 inches of liquid from my jar. And, oh yeah, I put these other plums. I've got more downstairs. I'm gonna have to go through probably tomorrow. And I put them in this, I washed them, obviously. I went through them. And I put them in the box here. And what I'm doing is I'm just covering them up. I'm gonna put them probably in Uncle John's room. Try and get them away from the fruit flies. And I'm gonna leave them there for a day or two to try and get them to, what do you call it? Sorry. Ripen, so they're sweeter, right? That's what we want. And then I'm going to make juice with them, right? And some baby food for Amari. So hold on. See? The harder you boil, the more liquid comes out of the jars. I don't like that. I mean, obviously sometimes it's necessary, right? Because of what you're canning in terms of vegetables and stuff like that. But I think there's a little more room for leeway. Anyway, our 15 minutes is up. So I can turn off the heat now. So, this is what I'm talking about. You can see, even when you take it out of the canner, it's leaking out. I don't like that. Right? But what can you do? So, technically, you do have to boil it, right? So.
Yep. They're here, all right. People, see? The whole walnut trees are cut down now.
Where are they? They don't even look like they're here. They're over there. Okay, people. So it's begun. As you can see, they've just ripped everything apart. Just completely tore down and ripped it up. All the walnuts are all buried into the ground, be thrown into the dump. Ripped up all the roots, that's what they're doing.
Now, which way should we go?
Can you believe this, people? I'm surprised they left that one.
Why? By that big mountain?
They started early, didn't they? So now we're just picking them up off the ground as we find them.
There you go.
Here. That's what we're doing here, people.
How do you keep it right here?
It just makes us feel so not well. Here's another acorn. 2 of them.
How did those get... Hey, there's another.
Yeah, well, because they tore up that little acorn tree. Look at that, people. Look at that.
Hey, I'm gonna go pick some over here. Oh, big one.
There's the walnut tree. Is that the walnut tree?
Yeah, black walnut and English.
That's right, black walnut and English. Do you see that, people? And there's walnuts.
I'm in what? This is like a mountain.
Yeah. Here's some acorns. So anyway, people, we're picking nuts.
Okay, people. What day is it today now?
28th of August.
Okay, today is 28th August. Yeah, August. And you see now it's picking up the walnuts.
Yes, I am.
Yep.
Right. And what else are we picking up? Black walnuts
Acorns.
and acorns.
See, people, English walnut again. Because we're getting a whole bag. And what's this over here? Oh boy, they're English. Should I done talking now? And they cut down the wall trees. Bye, people. Okay, people. I found
Hold on, is that recording?
Yes, no, look.
Okay.
Red. Okay, people. So I found a jackpot of walnuts.
And why is that?
Because the tree must have fell like...
When they cut the tree, it must have fell this way.
And it must have been this for me.
Yeah, right in there.
Okay. Okay, people. So you see, they're cutting down the tree. They cut it down that one. So cool, eh? Look at them. And I don't know why they cut down all these trees. Like, look at this. This is so messy, eh? Besides, we got bags of walnuts there.
Yeah, we do, people, but... Okay, this is not videotaping correctly, Andre. Anyway, that's better. As you can see, it's some serious tree cutting today, people. This is what's creating homelessness in the province of British Columbia, Canada. Housing is being built that most Canadians can't afford to rent or buy because there's been an influx of upper rich immigrant population from different countries moving in, buying up all the property. Some of them with laundered money with fentanyl sales. And this is what's happening. They're building homes as this property is going to be for old folks, right? so they can buy little suites for themselves as they're being flushed out of their old bungalows. That's what's happening here, people. The old people are being flushed out of their old bungalows, right? There's my little house right there, right, with the mutiny going on right in there, right? This is going to be tore down in another month or two, too. Those people, everybody that's in that house, and trust me, people, there's been over 200, 300 people that have gone through that little house. Where is it? Right there. Nope. Right there. Right? That are basically homeless. So, for all this development, it's not doing anything for the Canadian people, and it's definitely destroying the landscape, right? Like, this is sad. This lady agrees right here. She just put her thumb up. She said, yes, it's destroying the landscape. She put her thumb up on that one because, you know, we're watching what's going on. And, you know, again, the only reason these old folks can afford to buy these buildings, again, people, is because they're being flushed out of their houses with high property taxes as the housing market is being overinflated with properties being sold 4 times a year with $500,000 attached on it each time it sells. So, you know, what started off at $500,000 is $1.5 million by the end of the year. And that's what's happening, people. Well, more homeless people, you know, they say, oh, people, you know, don't go in there, there's needles. Well, there's needles everywhere, people. Needle on the streets, needle, it doesn't matter where you go. So if that's an excuse to cut down trees and just, you know, all the fruit trees are going, all the nut trees are going, you know, the acorn trees are going, they're cutting everything down, they're bringing in artificial trees. Like, seriously, man.
Well, I don't feel like crying.
Well, you know what, Andre? We came in just the right time in terms of at least we got 3 bags of walnuts. Right? No, we only found like 3 black walnuts. The rest of them were all English. So, I don't know. A lot of nibbies fell off the black walnut tree this year, so it wasn't producing a lot. But like this is a sad fucking day, people. You know, my daughter needs housing. So many people need housing, and no housing is being built. And do you know, even if I wanted to move, people, I'm sorry, but I can't afford $2,800, $3,000, $2,600 for the same type of house that I already got, right? With the same problems. Only some of my problems I don't have anymore because I've been in that house for 9 years in terms of electrical and plumbing and all that other stuff, right? Because, like they say, the old people, they're being, you know, the baby boomers, they're being flushed out of their homes. They're, you know, making option to buy these condo suites or whatever they're going to build here. And then some of them, not all of them, but some of them, 10% of the population gets targeted by the healthcare system and those people that work that, you know, union sector, so that they can be shifted into eventually old folks' home and then pay for that service, right? No fruit trees, nothing. No nut trees, one in the corner. A lot of trees need to cross-pollinate, people, okay? The black walnut needs to be with the English walnut in order to prevent it from, you know, disease, right? Apples need to have more than one apple tree in the community in order for the apples to cross-pollinate in order to be able to produce trees, right? So, and fruit. Don't act stupid.
What?
Videotape them.
Okay, they're cutting down that tree now. See, they cut down these trees there. Now.
Right. Isn't it a sad day?
And
Oh, trees.
Yeah. Okay, you can turn that off.
now, can you talk?
Is it on?
Yeah.
He wants to come in the middle of this black walnut tree. I mean, like, how close can you get?
I can get pretty close in there now.
You can get pretty close in here too, eh?
No, I can get in deeper in there.
This is really like a forest in here.
Now, it's actually more like a jungle.
Yeah. Could have been a jungle, eh? I broke my glasses, didn't I?
How?
Found 2 black walnuts in here, but they were just little guys because they don't really fall until the end of September, and we're not even at the end of August. Okay, you can turn it off now. Thanks. And that. You have to video it.
Okay, people. See, they have a rope attached to that truck. They're going to cut down this tree. And then it's going to go. Should we stand back now? I might fall this way. It's going to fall down. Watch. I am. Wait first. Okay, he's over there. At that tree, he's gonna pull down this way. Watch. After he's done with that cut. See? Watch. Watch. Wait. Now look. Yeah. I videotaped that.
Wow.
Uh-oh. What? When the tree fell, how could that be possible? I just watched it. I was looking at it. Okay, people. They're going to cut down that tree now.
What do you think of that?
Pretty good.
It's yours.
Me?
Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, now they're going to turn down that tree.
Okay, I see what they're doing with using that to pull it down.
Why?
Clever stuff.
Now they're going to cut it down, people.
You do that so it
Watch.
doesn't fall the wrong way.
Guess what we saw today? A tornado. Yeah, with leaves. It was a little one. Okay, people, see that? Now they're going to cut down the tree. And watch. Timber! Huh? Yeah? That was another tree. I saw it. Timber!
Another one.
Huh?
And another one.
And that was going to be the biggest one ever. Do you know what? My uncle always cuts down trees. Those ones that are dead. All these, that one's dead, that one's dead, that one's over there dead. I think we cut down the trees.
Alright. Should probably get running, buddy.
Okay, people. We found a whole bunch of walnuts. And they fell over here. Look at my big pile. That's a big pile. But
What are we doing now? Getting me branches.
cutting wood, people.
Yeah, cutting wood. We can make beads with this. Well, that's an oak one.
Yeah, I'm trying to get the oak.
Okay, well, I want the black walnut and the English
Yeah,
walnut.
that's English.
Yes, and we want it more down to the bottom there.
Oh, there's black walnut over there if you want some.
Okay. And Uncle Mark Kane's helping us too.
Oh, got it! What are you doing?
I'm sawing a piece of wood that's about 3 inches thick.
No, it actually is 4 inches thick now.
No, that's only 8 feet. And then we're gonna pull it out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna make jewelry with it, or
Yeah.
mobiles.
Yeah, and
This is black walnut I'm cutting.
yeah. Should I tie it off now?
Yeah, if you want.
Bye, people.
Okay, people, this is the 29th of August of 2018. This is tree protection here, people. This is protecting trees. Okay? This is what's going on across this province. Really, it doesn't matter where you go, but this is what they're doing. The rich are moving up into the mountains and white rock area. Yeah, I'm talking. Just loading the shit up and just hauling it off, put it in a big wood chipper. That's it. They cut down, I'm telling you people, like 80 freaking trees. Look at this. Can you see this? Can you see this, people? Like I'm gonna have a heart attack. Like, I'm serious, I am gonna have a heart attack. Okay? This is 2 days of work. This is what these people can do in 2 fucking days. This is crazy. If I wouldn't have came out here yesterday with my grandson at the exact time that I came out, we would have not got the walnuts that we have right now. Do you see this? This is like fucking clear cutting. This is what this shit is. Okay? Right? And it's gonna be, you know what? And here's the irony about this shit, people. On this side, they're gonna build a nice little old folks home. So as the old folks are being flushed out of their little houses because the taxes go so high that they can't afford taxes anymore, or they get targeted by the city, right? Doesn't matter what city it is, because the city wants the house to go up for fucking sale because they've got a 10, 20-year plan for all this multi-structural condensed living that's supposed to somehow create a profit. Anyway, here you got the old people being flushed out of their little homes to move in and buy a little suite here. And then, just because of the way the political system is set up, 10% of that population in that complex will be targeted through the healthcare system. Listen to me, people, okay? And their assets will be illegally seized, and they will be detained through the healthcare system in their various acts. We already seen that happen to Uncle John, okay? And then on this side of the street, now let's mind you, this is all Caucasians, white people, mainly white people. Chinese people, the only time they're gonna put their family member in some old folks' home or someplace like that is if they're like a nuisance, right? If they're making noise and they got some serious mental health issue, then maybe the family don't wanna look after them and we'll put them in an institution setting, right? And, or if they're blind or something like that. Okay. Outside of that, those people, they will stay in the monster homes with Andre. Please don't run in the monster homes with their family members, which could be anywhere from 10 to 20 living in one of those homes, because they're equipped to look after the elderly, right? Because they have these homes, right? So on this side of the street, I'm going to end this right now because I'm choked, people. I actually will walk down, but on this side of the street, what's happening here is you're getting an immigrant population, obviously a middle class, right? Middle class, okay? Because only the middle class, upper middle class, can afford to build these monster homes that are coming in at, well, now I can almost guarantee you it's $2 million, because over there, for an old bungalow, it's 1.5, because every 4 months, for some reason, the same house sells over and over and over again, and each time that it fucking sells, right, property taxes go up, everything goes up. So yeah, so on this side of the property, right here, all you're gonna get is a whole bunch of immigrants, right? Whether they're from China, whether they're from the Philippines, doesn't matter where they come from, but those are the ones that own those houses, while the little white old people that live in these little houses will move into these houses, and then once these houses are done, I'm doing a video, right? And then once these houses are built and they're in there, and they start aging, then they become targeted through the healthcare system, and the more vulnerable ones will be snatched up like Uncle John was snatched up. And this is mainly white people going to be living in here, while on this side is a fucking flood of immigrants pushing out the most vulnerable in the city of Surrey, right across the province of British Columbia, Canada, right? Because there's nowhere else for us to go once these little houses shut down. And they're being boarded up, right? One by one, picked off like freaking flies, to be replaced with that nobody can afford to rent or buy, right? To watch the landscape be destroyed, right? As the city, whatever city you live in, lies and says that they're protecting trees, which is a bunch of fucking hogwash, right? And all to turn a profit, people. That's all it is. This is like money laundering in a whole new fucking level, right? You know how many homeless people can't afford to rent anything in the city of fucking Surrey? Do you know how many families that are living in places that these property developers got their fucking eyeballs on, and then they start harassing and intimidating to the point where the people have to leave just so that the rent can go up $1,000 for the next tenant? $1,000. Kick out a tenant, bring a new one in for an extra $1,000. So what started off at $1,900 when it really should be $1,200 is now $2,900. Right? Anyway, now that I got that off my chest, right? Okay. So now we're at the apple tree that is just
nice apples.
very nice apples. That's what I'm making juice with. As you can see, we're allowed to pick the ones that fall on the ground. Right? I can't really see what's going on in this screen right now. So anyway, we just wait for them. We come every day, and we get apples every day. I don't get to do every apple every day, but anyway, I'm working on a system. But isn't that just a beautiful apple tree? The thing about apples, though, people, they have to have more apple trees in the community. They can't just have one apple tree, because apple trees like to cross-pollinate between themselves, right? So as this, people are cutting down all these trees, not only are they taking away a food source from people, but, they're taking food source away from animals, and they're just making it hard for anything to live anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do you see how it works around here, people? This one, or both of them just sold. And then oftentimes it's down that way and down that way. 4 times a year, like freaking clockwork. And each time a house sells, it goes up another $400,000, $500,000. Right? Okay, people. So now my son is getting me some black walnut. I came out here with a, I don't know, what is it called, hacksaw? Yesterday, and he got all frustrated. He was like, "Oh, this wood is hard." And I said, like, "Yeah, it's black walnut, right?" Anyway, he's helping me today. And this is what he does for a living. And got back from work. We'll do some, Andre's walnut art, people. Right? Still gonna write that story. We're gonna make some craft projects and do some art and sing some songs. And anyway, as you can see what they're doing now, they're uprooting these trees, right? Starting to anyway. That's a big tree, people. Do you see that? Okay. But this is the life cycle of a tree. This is how you cope with it, right? Like I said, they tore down like 80 trees out here, right? But at the end of the day, it is what it is, right? So, we're going to see what we're going to get out of this. Hold on.
Okay, people. See? I know, it's pretty loud. It's just working goes. I'm working. What day is it?
29th.
Huh?
August 29th.
Okay, today's August 29th, people. And now let's pick up walnuts.
Yeah, and what else?
Acorns
Why are we picking up the acorns? For what reason?
for squirrels.
Yeah. And then it freezes them, right?
Yep,
Are you paying attention?
yes. Okay, on the ground for some acorns, you see? They took down all the things with that truck over there. But now we can see where the walnuts are. Because I found an acorn. I'm an acorn. I'm an acorn. I'm an acorn. And you see, we filled up Marking's backpack.
Yeah, we're gonna need another bag.
Yeah. Okay, people. See that? They're doing that. And they're gonna put that wood in there, smash it up. We're zooming in. See that, people? We're putting that wood.
Are we done for wood now?
Yep. Yep.
What about that one? That's the biggest one.
Took half of it.
Can you not take the other now? Please?
Use what you have first.
I'm gonna put that in the...
Use what you have
You'll
first.
never come across it again.
Yeah, you will. They grow everywhere. Use what you have first. I don't like that behavior. It not only scares me, but makes me mad. This whole like, I have to have it all now before I use any of it, so it just keeps accumulating.
Marking!
Right, the fucking plums are still in the fucking fridge, and the pears are rotting in your doorway. So you need more English walnuts.
Why do you go off like that? Like, why?
Marking! Marking! And
Tell them they're
What?
probably gonna cut down these ones too.
okay now, I'm already starting. Okay, people. Oh my gosh, the hell. Okay, people. You see, they cut down the English walnut there. They cut down these. They're gonna cut down these trees soon. Besides, birds like this tree. So nice. We can see that bird.
Where's all my nuts? Hey,
Where is he?
he's up there.
Oh yeah, I got him
Blue
now.
jay. He comes to our house every now and then.
Okay, this PJ comes to our house,
He's a blue jay.
Blue Jay, and he likes this tree a lot.
Yeah.
He's just checking an eye on us.
Yeah, show them they're probably gonna cut these ones down in here.
I already did. I mean, they're
Oh,
gonna
yes.
cut down these trees
I
down
bet you any
over
money,
here.
people, they're going into these ones next. We're moving wood. Bark.
Okay, and that's the PJ.
Okay, so I'm gonna finish this video on this. Right? I'll put the first three first. Like these last three. And then everything else that led up to this. Right, there's those plums that I'm starting to work on. There's 9 jars of apple juice. And I'm going to start apple juice probably tomorrow, if not tomorrow, the next day, because I've got some chicken I have to can because I came across some chicken that was cheap. New batch of apple butter. There's that blackberry jelly. More pickles. Did that. This is how I do it. This is $1.25 a can. It's the cheapest you're gonna find these days. So now I'm gonna go into the old food storage. Oh my lordy. Okay, so now I'm gonna go into the old food storage take out those cans and put those cans inside and start eating up on the other ones. This, I got into another storage area, so I pulled everything out. You can see it's just whatever, knickknacks. That's like a chocolate, right? So just sitting here doing nothing. So I brought those out and put them away. And here is meat that I canned in 2014. Remember, the one jar popped, right? And then I cooked it up, kill off any botulism, and I bagged it. But when I started cooking it, it still smelled like corned beef, right? But because the jar had popped and everything turned brown on it, you didn't know for sure one way or another, where these ones have not popped. So this is turkey, nice color, 2014. And then my son had a jar of just chicken, because he likes these, right, from 2015, and he said it was good. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that, right? And I got 4 chickens on the cheap, so now I'm going to can some more chicken, right? So anyway, that's what I've been doing, people. And of course, walnuts, right? You can see. And then starting with the new video, I'm going to show you the walnuts. A lot of them are no good because they're not very mature, right? So they dry out pretty quick. But besides that point, I'm going to, tomorrow, starting on the new video, I'm going to show you all the walnuts that Andre and I picked up off the ground, and the acorns and whatever else, and you know, and they're just moving along, right? In terms of like the apples, I'll show you what the apples, how they're coming in, looking really nice, right? So anyway, all right, people, bye. Okay, August 31st, 2018. This is what Andre and I have been doing for 3 days. Obviously, I'm washing them right now, you can see. Because they were all in the mud and, well, dirt and just whatever, right? All rolled over by machines. No. That's not what we're doing. No, that's not what we're doing. Just do it fast, okay? Come on, because I'm washing. I got one more bucket to wash. Just sort them out quickly. That's all, because I'm going to just wash them and dry them. We'll pick them off later. Okay? Don't worry about that. Alright? Because I got one more bucket of nuts to wash, and then I have to clear off the porch and get on to something else here, okay? And then we're going to go back to the field and see what they've done. Okay?
What you?
Well, we can pop in, but he got into trouble yesterday, so it's hard to say. So hurry up.
Hi, people. So we got the stuff we did today. And we got some acorns.
Can you look at the camera instead of having it up in the sun?
I'm not in the sun.
Yeah, I seen it.
It wasn't in the sun, I said. We have acorns. And what's up there? What's in there? We have some walnuts. And some more walnuts right there. You see? Here's some more. And
Okay, look at your film.
there's some more walnuts here.
This is how we found them all in the dirt. Show them.
We found these all in dirt.
So now we're cleaning them. We're sorting them out into piles. Look at your camera.
Yeah, Damn, this is not my camera.
You know what I mean.
So we got these digged up, like yesterday.
Yeah, and the day before, We've been doing this for 3 days.
Yeah, and we
Today
got
we're
some.
washing them now.
Yeah, we got some that. What do you have? And there's Mickey the Garter cat. And
Show those ones.
We have these ones. We have some black walnuts, a lot of them. And here's some water acorns I picked.
And what are we gonna do with them?
Dry them.
What are we gonna do with the acorns? We're gonna pay
Get them-
attention to the camera.
We're gonna get them to the squirrels.
Yes, and what else are we gonna do with them? We're gonna what? Put them where?
In the freezer.
In the freezer, and then over the winter we're gonna give them to the squirrels and the raccoons.
Yeah. And we have some English walnut
Plus we're gonna
here.
grow some trees.
And we have English. So we'll see you later, people.
I have an injured crow in my yard. Oh, the cats are running around, people. Sky! Okay, baby. His foot is swollen. He's not going very far. He wants to hang around here. Probably got flushed out of that tree. I think it's just a baby. He likes my yard though. Not going very far, are you? When they cut down all those trees, people, that's what they did. They displaced the animals. So look, all my cats are coming out. Look, there's another cat. Where is it? There's a cat. There's Mickey. Sky is on the prowl. Oh, that poor bird. Where is it? There it is. He's coming here for refuge, but there's too many cats around. They like to catch birds around here. Cats catch the birds and the mice and the rats. Oh, this poor thing. Got flushed out of its house when they cut down all those trees, people. That's what happened. It's like a baby. And this one, it just reminds me of a baby. Doesn't know what to think. Oops, sorry. It's been displaced. You've been displaced, haven't you? Hey? Why you come here? You smell the walnut trees, is that it? Where are you now? There you are. You just want to hang out here. Hey? This bird just wants to hang out here. Isn't that something? I wish I had a shelter for you. Someplace safe from the cats. We don't want the cats getting you. No. They got their eyeballs on you. Do you see how disorganized it is? Doesn't know what it wants. Poor thing. I feel so sorry for the animals around here, people. It's everything getting wiped out. See, there's something wrong with his foot. It's injured. Probably got injured when they started ripping down those trees. That's what happened. He came into my yard to tell a story. See, I was up there in that tree minding my own business. And along came the murderers. Chopped down the trees and practically killed me and killed off one of my siblings. And yeah, pretty much par and parcel for British Columbia, Canada, aka the Congo, even for birds. Poor thing. Doesn't know what to do. Look at that, just sitting there, just doesn't know what to do. Oh. Anyway, so I washed as much, oh God, here we go. As much as I could. Obviously it's going to be hard now because they're all like not ripe. I mean, they're not ripe, so they're hard rinds, right? And gotta get up on them ASAP, but at least I washed off all the grit and the dust and the dirt and try and work on them as much as I can. Andre and I are gonna, well, Andre will go through these tomorrow, start pulling off the caps, and then I'll put them in the freezer, right? And freeze them for the raccoons and the squirrels in the wintertime, right? There's that bird, he's still there. Look at that. There he is. Poor thing. It doesn't know what it wants to do. It wants to do something. There's cats down there, though. Stupid cats. So anyway, people, I was right. There was the English walnut right there, that little one. There was a squirrel lived in it, right? You can see. They just chopped them all down. Look at this. Look at this, people. It's barren. Right? Then they're going to get into the alley and start gutting the alley. Right? Look at this. I got those walnuts with Andre, eh, Andre?
Yep.
We got them just in the right time, didn't we?
I found something.
A pencil.
Yep. I always need them.
Right? We got them just in the right time, people. Look at this. Do you see how old this tree is? Look at that. And this is supposed to be good for the province, right? Half the province is burning up as city councils are cutting everything down, right? All across the province, cutting everything down. That's all they're doing, is just cutting everything down. Pushing out more and more people out onto the streets is pathetic. I'm telling you, people, I don't know. This is genocide in Canada. Okay?
Yeah. Look at that. That looks like a tunnel now.
Now it looks like a tunnel.
Wow.
Yeah, we should be trying to get a little bit more black walnut wood, but they're going to be hauling that crap out of there tomorrow. They're just ripping up all the roots. That's what they're doing. Here, let's go see.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through this tunnel.
Look at this. This is where I got all the walnuts from, people. Everybody walking by watching me digging this big pile of bush. That's where I got all the walnuts. I did that all day yesterday. Right, day before. And then today I washed them. Right. I picked through everything. I tried to get as many as I could. Look, I missed some. Here's one right here. Right. Because they're gonna come in and do what they did, like over there. Now they're gonna do it over here and take everything out. Right? Hold on.
Going in the tunnel again. Double. That tunnel looks too dangerous, right?
That one looks like the black walnut right there. We tried to get a few roots, but...
Oh, I found a walnut!
Yeah, there's still a couple. Okay, well, scoop it up. This is so sad, people. So sad. Right? I'm gonna put an ugly ass building in here. And don't think that they're not done cutting these trees, because they are. Because this whole thing is slated for freaking condos, what is it called? Apartment buildings, high rises, and that kind of crap.
That's why people are here.
Yeah. So anyway, this is just a fraction of the trees that they took out of here. Just a fraction, people. Like I said, they took out like 80 trees. And I don't think they're done yet. I think they're gonna get up into the alley, because they gotta run pipes and stuff. I don't know about this. I think these ones are gonna go too, people, because they got that little fence down there. So, you know, turn it into a parking lot, right? That's more profitable, right?
So right now, these are safe. I test them. Hey, I found black walnut.
A black walnut?
Yeah, black walnut.
What's it saying? Don't leave me behind?
Yeah,
Where is it?
right here. This is it.
Oh, that's right. It is black walnut.
Because it has bark. A lot of it,
Look
too.
at that.
Well, people. I found a black walnut.
Yeah.
And I wonder what kind of tree that is. Right there.
Those are pines.
Hey, look at that. Look at that one. Look at that bark. It's black.
Yep. All pines.
So I get down, people. I'm gonna get down. Geronimo. Da-da-da.
Okay, people. So now it is September 1st, 2018. Jerry's going to get up in there, and he's going to start fixing that up for me, using up my glass doors. I've got two of them. You can see that, right? And that piece of glass over there, and he's going to, he said he's going to probably level up the canopy. And anyway, Jerry's in there now, and I told my landlady next year I don't know how much I'm going to plant in terms of like food, right? Because, you know, I'm like behind on everything, people. Like, so much have happened for months. So anyway, I want to, like, you know, I want to finish up and paint and finish laying down the bricks and just finish up the things that need to be done, right? That's why Jerry's going to work on that and make it nice and secure. Seedling room, aka craft room with the wood. You can see I brought some, there's some black walnut bark there, people, right? Okay. And yeah, we'll be back. Okay, so what I'm doing here is, this is like video clip 69. I haven't had any time to convert anything over, do anything, and I have to, there's so much, you know, taking up so much space on my computer, I have to transfer files. But besides that point, as you can see, what I'm going to do now, people, this is what it looks like right now. Okay? So there's that hoarding moment. Alright? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to gut it out, because Jerry is going to get up here and he's putting in the doors and the frame for a basic roof. We're going to make it into a semi-greenhouse. Semi. Right? You'll see. So I was thinking about fostering a dog, but not at this point. Plus, I still have Mr. Lace's doghouse. I'm sorry, Mr. Lace's cat house. No, I've got other plans for this. Andre and I, we built this little playhouse when he first got back. Well, it was supposed to be a hen house. He wants it still to be a playhouse, but I told him no, he can't use it for that. But he'll be in there after I gut it, and I've got other plans for it, right? So it used to be the hen house, and then it was going to be the seedling room. And then I thought about turning it into a dog kennel briefly. And now I'm turning it back into a seedling room, aka arts and crafts room, where Andre can actually go inside and pretend that it's a playhouse. And Jerry's going to level this because it's crooked and make it nice and secure. Build in the roofing so that we can run some plastic. Fill in the gap. Put in a door that will open. Fix this wall. And then, yeah, so this is before. Let's see what it looks like after. See what's going on here, people? This is September 5th, 2018. They're cutting down more trees. That's what they're doing here, people. Clearing out the freaking alleyway. And they're doing it down the road over here. I'll show you the other big field, what's going on. But yeah, I guess there's going to be a lot of traffic or something. I don't know. They're putting in pipes. That's what they say. See, that's what they're doing. They're cutting them down right now. Right? I mean, some of these trees look like they're, I don't know, people. I'm lost for words. Like, seriously, I am so lost for words. Okay, people. Like, I'm serious. They're cutting down, like, hundreds of trees on the outskirts of the cities at a time, as they're doing it on the inside within the city at the same time. Okay? Because they cut down more than 80 trees over there, people, in, like, less than 2 fucking days. This is day number 3. Now they're going into the rest of them, right? Behind me, over here, about 200 feet away, they cut down a whole bunch of other trees. And for every little house that gets torn down and a monster house gets built up, you're losing another, 3 to 4 trees per lot. Hold on.